Everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing day. I'm in one of the best moods in a long time. I mean, we have a One Piece chapter, so of course I'm in a good mood. I know all you guys are here too, so that's super exciting. Thank you all for showing up as always. I've heard I haven't been spoiled, but I've heard amazing things about this chapter. I've been warned by several people. I lightly read some of the chat here, and I saw you guys were real hyped about it. So I mean, I was already hyped. I don't need any more reason to be hyped when a One Piece chapter is out. But I mean, after that last one, I mean, it's hard not to be excited. You know what I mean? I mean, if it's anything like the last one, it's going to be 10 out of 10 easy. And I've heard a lot of, like I said, a lot of good things. So I'm super excited for this. I'm gonna be real with you. So I saw purple one on the poll, so we got purple back there. I didn't turn my third light on today. That is just because I forgot. But it's already a little too late. But that's okay. It's purple back there. That's all that matters. But thank you all for showing up. Appreciate you. I had a work meeting a little bit ago, and it was originally scheduled till 3, and then it got pushed to 3:30. And I was like, guys, I got a chapter to read. I can't. I There's priorities. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this, and One Piece chapter 1114 is top tier. The only thing that can maybe get close to this new chapter is the Cavs. I know the Cavs are gonna have a tough time against the Celtics. No one needs to tell me. I know, but if the Cavs were to win, that might be a slightly higher priority just because I'm a Cleveland fan. But I mean, other than that, there's nothing that even gets close. You can't even sniff it. Lol Sauce with the 10 gifted memberships. So Lol Sauce, I meant to do this before this stream, and I unfortunately forgot. Well, I didn't have time, honestly. But I want to add something to my stream deck where it's the LeBron thing from when he joined Miami, and he's like, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. You know that thing? I want to get that and play it when people gift memberships because it wasn't 3, 4, or 5. It was 10, bro. Lol Sauce, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Shout out to the 10 new members of the Afro Gang. Thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate it. And I guess good news for, everyone here, yes, but also any members in general. You guys any members who were a member a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I did do the signups for the next TCG giveaway, the One Piece TCG giveaway. I do have the box now, so probably next weekend we'll probably do the giveaway. But anyone who got a membership here should be eligible starting next month because I want to do these every month. So because it's May 9th. So at the start of June, there'll be another sign up. So everyone who just got one will be eligible for the next one. I guess theoretically you could still go sign up on the current one. I didn't put like a finishing date on it, but the giveaway is going to be soon. So it's whatever. You can do whichever one you want. But Lol Sauce, thank you as always. John Stoops with the $5. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Goat content, goat reactions, and fire chapter lore piece. Let's go, John. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. If you said lore piece, I mean I could have assumed that, but that gets me hyped because those are the best chapters for me. Now, if Laboon's in the chapter, that's not even fair to compare. If Laboon's in it, it's an automatic 10 out of 10 for me. But other than that, I mean, lore piece, that's number one. And also, I want to give you guys a quick update because I've made a couple posts about it. I have a really big video coming soon. It's basically what happened in the Void Century. It's basically a continuation or an extension of my one Void Century video, which is now the biggest video on the channel, which is amazing. Thank you guys for that. I thank you guys in the video too, but thank you anyway. And that will probably, I really want to get it completely done tonight and upload it tomorrow morning. That's the goal. If that doesn't happen and it's not up at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning, then it'll be up Saturday morning. One of the two. Kind of depends what happens in this chapter because I might add some stuff. You know what I mean? I want it to be as accurate as possible, but it's pretty much done. So, and I think you guys will like it. I watched Morge's video. I watched King of Lightning's video. I watched O'Hara's video, even though he took my thumbnail. I watched Parvision's video. I watched everyone's video about the Void Century and the Flood and stuff because I was like, I do not want to duplicate what everyone else is saying. I want to make sure I have a different take. If some people say stuff that I believe, I'm going to mention them. I do mention King of Lightning. I might be mentioning Par also, but Par and I already mind roped. If you watch Parvision's video and you liked it, you are definitely going to like my video. It's similar, but I wouldn't say better because I think he's definitely right. So I'm not going to say better because I think he's correct in a lot of what he said, but it's more expansive. I guess I'll put it that way. So definitely check out his video, everyone's video, honestly. They're all pretty solid. But Kush Daddy with the $5, the best question. Well, I shouldn't say the best because, everyone has good questions, but one of my favorite questions every week, the music question. Um, oh well, this isn't even music. This is something else. Kush Daddy with the $5. Who would win, Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland or Art Fruit Lady from Doffy's Crew? Doffy's Crew. Ooh man, you're talking about Giola, right? Okay, so that's a tough one. I want to go Giola only because I think she has a lot of like theory potential. You know what I mean? Like whenever she painted, it had like the split face on the Sunny where like it was like day and night and whatever, and there was some other stuff she did. Um and the reason why I think that's extra important is because Miss Golden Week's painting powers have never really been explained. It's not a devil fruit. We don't really know what it is. And so the fact she has paint powers, all that kind of just makes me really interested. And also, Conjuro had paint powers. It was like drawing powers, but similar. And, he was like a traitor and super duper evil. So I wonder where the painting stuff is going because Oda's definitely like leaned into that. But no disrespect to the Cheshire Cat. Cheshire. I'm probably butchering the name. I know you say it something like that. I know I've heard it a million times, but um, no disrespect. But Giola, I mean, when you take a One Piece character, it's going to be tough. Birch, I also saw you comment spinning Laboon. Spinning Laboon is in the next video somewhere, so be on the lookout for that. But also, yeah, for me too, spinning Laboon in asterisk, me too. If you don't know what we're talking about, join the Discord. And then good vibes, bringing the good vibes of the stream with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, good vibrations. I appreciate you. Welcome to the 5 new members of the Afro Gang. Welcome, welcome. Good vibes, one of the all-time goats of the channel. Been around since day one. Thank you, thank you. Did you sign up for the TCG giveaway? Good vibes. There's a lot of G's in that sentence. Hope you did. I want to get you some cards if you want. We're opening Wings of the Pirate King, another booster box of it, FYI. All right, all right. So that was only 6 minutes. That felt like 15 minutes. Wow. I see John Sherrod in the chat. Look, JJ, I'm not going to say it for you, but JJ has a very unpopular agenda that he's probably going to go ahead and talk about in the chat if you guys want to let him know how we feel about that agenda. And I'm not talking about the Topman agenda, JJ. I'm not. That one's already, that's unpopular. But the other one, the other agenda you got brewing, don't bring that up in the chat. You might, it's gonna be 3-day might have to mute you. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. And real quick, shout out to like the 200 people here. Really appreciate that. This must be a banger chapter. We're about to get into it in just a minute. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like, if you guys wouldn't mind liking D stream, I just can't talk today. It's been a long day, but if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, that would really help, especially with like the VOD and people watching it. I think my last reaction was like one of my most viewed ever. That probably ties to like the video, like the flood video I did also. People wanted to check that out, but last one did really well, so it'd be great if you guys would like it. Oh no. Oh, did JJ already start talking about the anti-Laboon agenda? I mean, I feel it hurts me to even say that. I can't even believe that exists. Yeah, LeBron James. I think that's the sticker name. Major shout out to Beanboy for making some of those. Oh, I see you in the chat, Beanboy. Appreciate you. Yeah, Beanboy, when you made those, it took me under 2 minutes to turn that into a sticker. That was like no question. So, Ace, you said best chapter in Egghead. Dang. Well, maybe it's time to get started then. Like I said, please like these stream guys because we are about to get into it right now. This is actually the first time I'm seeing the title because when the chapter first came out and I loaded the page, it didn't have the title of the chapter like on the main page of TCB. So this is actually the first time I'm seeing it. So One Piece chapter 1114, The Wings of Icarus. Okay. And so we got Kinemon and Yamato kind of planning the route to Tor Wano, I guess. I ask that you complete a pilgrimage to Hakumai and return this sword to Enma's shrine in the late Yasuye's stead. Is this his sword? I'm just confused because shouldn't it have been buried with him if that's his sword? Because isn't that how they do it? They bury the sword with the samurai? Because his grave is like closer to where they are because we saw that in the anime episode, right? Where Zoro visited it. That's interesting. Either way, though, my goat Yasu with the afro. I mean, not it's hard for me to put him quite on this level, but he should be in whenever we talk about the great dads of One Piece, I feel like he should probably be there because like he took Otoko in and like she had such a rough thing with like the smile fruit that she ate. And I mean everyone in Wano had it rough and he just like took care of her. And then the toad oil thing, which I still can't forgive Usopp for. That's one of my goats right there. Love him. Big fan. All right, here we go. Page 1. Not page 1 from Wano. We don't talk about him, but page 1 of this chapter. Navy headquarters, New World. Ooh, going over to Navy HQ right away after the message. The world's gonna sink into the ocean? Does he realize what he's saying? Dr. Vegapunk. Ooh, I love this panel. Pulling the dragon. Yo, he can read the dragon ancient language right here. The 3 dots. He's speaking I told you everyone should know by now that him and Dragon are connected because like they're the same age. Dragon was in the Marines. They probably had a connection, all that stuff. Look at this. I mean, they're speaking the same language. The town of Mockery, Mocktown. Oh no issues here. This is gonna be dope. This guy's a riot. Is he trying to panic everyone and take the world down with him so some people don't believe him? How the heck is the whole world meant to sink, Mr. Genius? And I love that it's Mocktown, right? Because they didn't believe about Skypiea, or Bellamy didn't in his group, right? They didn't believe about Skypiea and the Emerald City and all that. So now to see them be the ones who are like, come on, like the world's not sinking. And is that a Don Quixote Jolly Roger on the back of that thing? Is that what that is? That's it, right? I'm looking it up real quick just so I'm not... Yeah, it looks like it. The teeth are straight. They're supposed to be like a full smile, but it might just be the way it's drawn. Which, I mean, Bellamy was a part of that group, right? That's interesting. Okay. The City of Water, Water 7. So, the town of Mockery, the City of Water. I wonder why they're naming it this way. If he was just talking about this city, I would believe him in an instant. But the whole world? It'd take a lot more than rising tides to do that, right? It would. And if you want to know how, check out my next video. Maybe it's in here, but... The underwater prison. Impel down. Foo. Is there 5 foos? 5 foos. This just gets better and better. Isn't your job to take care of the inmates, Magellan? What are you going to do if the prison gets completely flooded? Oh, he actually answers? I thought he was just shouting to the sky. Magellan's right there Magellan's right outside the door. He doesn't want Dofi to leave, bro. Which, check out my video after the next one about Doflamingo. I got that one cooking too. You have a point. The sudden sea level rise earlier caused havoc with some cells. Wow. And that was only 1 meter. How many meters would it take to cover the whole world? I would love this answer. Most urban areas would be screwed if water levels rose just another 5 meters. Maybe we should all evacuate. We could always go somewhere high up. We all know Dofi wanted to go to Marijois, right? He wanted to be back as a celestial dragon up on top of there. We know that. Ryugu Kingdom, Fishman Island. Father, is that really going to happen? It sounds so outlandish. Wait. They're able to get the signal all the way underwater. I feel like we can't even do that in our world. Which, I mean, I guess in a manga they should be more capable than we are. Because, like, you can do whatever. But, like, I don't even know if we can have... You know, like, isn't it hard to have, like, radio waves go to the bottom of the ocean? Isn't that, like, really hard to do? Like, we have, like, sonar. But, I mean, you know, like, video waves. Whatever this is. Egghead, the island of the future. Okay, so we're back. This is crazy talk. But the world's most acclaimed scientist is saying it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's true. It'll cause mass panic and chaos. 100% true. Enough with the lies and madness, Vegapunk. Wow, and so look at Saturn here with, like, because he got hit by, like, the Usopp and Brook group, right? Quickly, eradicate the broadcast snail. No, snuff out every living thing you can sense. We can deal with the ramifications later. Okay, so before I continue reading, I just want to point out, like, just last chapter, they were like, no, don't destroy the power station. It's too important. Even if this message is going to get revealed, we can't risk it. And now that the message did get revealed, it seems like they're saying, like, screw it. You know, I don't care anymore, which I'm not really sure. All right, we got Mars. This is a cool panel of Mars right here. Wow. That's great. I love that. It's like unnecessary. Well, I guess he wanted to show all 5. I guess that's why. Huff Huff. Damn, Stella. Did he really spill the beans on everything? Please humor me for a moment as I make a prediction. Is this Vegapunk cooking? Okay, I'm switching the One Piece OST I got in my ear real quick. So I got the, it was a non-hype song. All right, here we go. Please humor me for a moment as I make a prediction. Assuming my sensor data is accurate, a few days from now, as I record this, an exceptionally vicious earthquake will rock the entire planet. Huh? Don't tell me he's talking about today's earthquake. Didn't he die after this recording? Yeah, so he's talking about the Mother Flame then, right? Following this calamity, sea levels the world over will rise by 1 meter. Did Vegapunk just know that his weapon was going to get taken and used? Because remember, York sent it. Okay, and that's also brought up in my video a lot, that like York decided to send it. She said that specifically. So it's like Vegapunk made it, or at least like made the blueprints for it, and York made it somewhere in that realm of things. And then York's decided to send the weapon over to the Gorosei. And so it's interesting hearing Vegapunk say this, because it's like, did he know that was going to happen, right? And maybe that's in the chapter. Maybe I'm speaking too early. A number of islands will become uninhabitable. No way. He actually saw it coming. That's actually really good proof for everyone else. Like, that like he knows what he's talking about, because he pre-recorded this. And naturally, many beaches will also be completely submerged. If this doesn't come to pass, feel free to disregard the rest of this message. My guy Tanjit, bro, my goat, if a flood happens, he's good. He wanted to become the world stilts champion, all right? He has no problem standing up as high as he needs to. He's good. This is freaky. How was he able to call it? We got Kuzan here. Kuzan's important in my video too. Assuming, however, these events have transpired, then please pay heed to what I have to say. The earthquake I just predicted cannot... The earthquake I just predicted cannot, strictly speaking, be considered a natural phenomenon, because it's from the Mother Flame. Vegapunk, not another word. Is that my goat Brook taking the lead against the Gorosei here? Come on, man. Oda with the ass shots, though, man. Like, it's every chapter at this point. Like, I think he had, like, an interview where he said he learned how to draw butts, and so he just... That's why he's having all the girls be like that, which, you know, I mean, that's Oda for you. Get out of here. I've always naively yearned for peace and prosperity. I love the way Vegapunk talks. Oh, so now they're in a... Oh, Robin's spider net. She's catching them. Okay, that's cool. Man, Brook's just cooking. Look at Saturn just getting destroyed. What's the laser that's hitting Saturn, though? Oh, that's a lightning strike from Nami. Okay. Okay, Chopper, how are you alive, bro? He has poison in his noodles, you know, the little noodle arms he's got. Chopper's got to be cooked. Be gone. Okay. And that brought me, oh wow, okay, I see a giant panel here. I'm gonna look at it in a second. And that brought me to what proved to be my first grave sin. Mars, what is the status of the power station? I am seeing it now. We must preserve the contents of that room. I'm almost there. I was fixated on my dream of developing an everlasting energy source, hell-bent on driving the world to a bigger and brighter future. The Mother Flame. But I flew too close to the sun. So much you can take away from that. Like, so much. We have to eradicate all life forms. We must be relentless. Okay, so you have like a flame in a vat here. And this is the Mother Flame, okay? I'm just trying to think. I mean, the fire thing, that's like it's like in water though, right? A and Mu. You guys see that on the top of it, right above the flame? A and Mu. I mean, the Mu part's got to be an emu thing. A and Mu. You guys are going to have some good theories on this, I feel like. A and Mu. I mean, it's like a periodic table thing too, but I'm just like, what's he trying to say with even? Whatever, you guys will have some theories. We'll get to it. That's definitely something with emu. Then S108. I wonder what 108 matters for. Okay, that's important. I shouldn't get ahead of myself though. It's no use. Nothing's working, and then it shows the robot. These things are going to be connected. Not that like Vegapunk couldn't figure out the robot's power source, right? But he did create something very close to it. And so the robot, I think we're about to get a juxtaposition here of like the two different power sources. That's why Oda's lining this up. So this is going to be great. It's no use. Nothing's working. So the robot's just plowing through. In order to understand, what is it? We didn't even phase it. Youch, that's hot. Oh, so now Topman can breathe fire? What do you say? In order to understand where the world is heading, we'll be burned to a crisp if we don't hurry. We must first address the past, specifically what happened. Wait, we must first address the past, specifically what happened between 900 and 800 years ago, bro. Void Century talk, bro. A century-long period that most think of as a blank part of history. Emu's pissed, dude. Those miserable Marines, what are they doing? Hurry and shut this cretin's mouth. Fittingly, it is known as the Void Century, since all information about it has either been erased or lost. And that is true for the most part, but there is one last key to unlocking some scraps and echoes from back then. Death is too good for him. Bring back his body. I'll tear him limb from limb. Listen, lady. That's Charlos's mom, or sister, right? Or related to Charlos, right? The Void Century, what is he talking about? The poneglyphs. Those lonely stones dwelling in various quiet and calm lands all over the globe. The text inscribed on them, once decoded, is our one and only method of glimpsing this unknown past. Is that Saul chillin'? Oda, you're cooking, man. Oda's in the kitchen with all the burners on full blast. He's got the stoves on. He's not every oven is filled with just food completely. It's Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Oda's full blast cooking. Hey, did you know, we're in Orangetown, that way back when 20 kings teamed up to create the world? I wonder if this old timer knows about any of them. Who can say? What do you think, Shushu? The goat? Despite this, any attempts to decipher the poneglyphs is considered taboo by the world government, and so I felt compelled to commit my second grave sin. I betrayed the government and studied this forbidden era myself. I was fortunate enough to inherit several documents from a certain group of exceptional archaeologists, and that allowed me to decipher a number of poneglyphs. I mean, we could have probably assumed it, but confirmation Vegapunk can read them. So that's 3 people now, Robin, Sukiyaki, and Vegapunk apparently, which, like, I think it's reasonable. But, like, I think it's funny that we had this all hyped up, like, Robin's the only person who can do it, and now, like, we're getting more and more people as time goes on. But it is what it is. Zoro-san, Jinbei-san. Okay, so he's yelling for him because we haven't seen him in a while. I pursued this research as far as possible, and I have no regrets. Vegapunk, I love you, man. One of my favorite characters. History is a story, after all. Whoa, the ground's moving? Look, the clouds are stretching? This must be what Edison was talking about. That's right, with the edge of the clouds further out, we'll be able to leap right into the ocean. Okay, but how are they stretching? Wheeze, wheeze, y'all straw hats had better make it. Don't you dare get caught by the government. Okay, Edison, you're my favorite satellite. Not even close. I said that last chapter, the chapter before, where he said, like, I forget, like, something about science and miracles. I can't remember. Something like that. Something about how he's going to go help, and here's what he did. My goat. And in truth, I only know a small fragment of this 100-year-long tale. I wouldn't be right to leave you with baseless speculation. So I'll limit myself to the facts as I know them. Enough, Straw Hat, it's pointless. The star of this story was born 900 years ago in a bountiful and advanced kingdom, and just like the legendary sun god Nika from the fables of Elbaf, He too fought with a stretchy and elastic body. They called him JOYBOY. Stop it, you're cracking us up. He was the first man to take to the seas. The first one to be called a pirate. Yo, bro. Wow. So he's the... Okay. So there were no pirates before that. And he was born... He was born 900 years... So he was born at the very start of the Void Century? Just like the legendary sun god Nika from the fables of Elbaf. So, like, we know we have a fit. If we already had it, I know we probably could have assumed it, but if we had any doubt before, we know Elbaf, worships sun god Nika. So that's cool in and of itself. But that's like almost a side point to the amazingness that they have everywhere else. He was the first man to take to the seas. The first one to be called a pirate. Wow. That, I mean, that is, I'm very, like, I just want to know why there were no pirates before. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you go back to the moon history from Anel's cover story, which, like, the three sky races came down at least 1100 years ago. If you use that as evidence, well, they said head down to the blue planet. So we have evidence that the planet was blue back then, like even before the Void Century, meaning there was an ocean of some kind. Now, was it as high up? Was it as big in general, whatever, as it is now? Probably not, or we don't really know. But the fact that JOYBOY was the first one, I'm just trying to think of how that could even be. Like, why, like, I'm sure people were sailing, right? But being a pirate is kind of different than that. So does this mean that JOYBOY, like, wasn't with the Ancient Kingdom? Like, maybe he, like, tangentially was, but he didn't really like them that much. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't, like, because, like, if the Ancient Kingdom didn't have pirates back then, and, like, they didn't exist, and then JOYBOY becomes the first one, that's kind of like a semi-antagonistic thing. And so does that mean that he did so to almost defy the Ancient Kingdom? Not that he's with the world government or the 20 kings, but just that he's somewhere in between that. Wow. Well, before I continue, I guess I'll say I'm definitely going to need an extra day to finish up my video now. Because, I mean, everything's mostly still accurate, but I feel like, I mean, we actually saw the Mother Flame, I guess. Or, like, it is the Mother Flame, but, like, whatever York... I'm trying to connect the dots here, because, like, if you go to the official translation of 1086, I want to say it is, Emu says directly, like, let's test Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Flame. Or, like, please use the Mother Flame. Basically saying that the weapon they're using is the Mother Flame, and it's also Vegapunk's creation. But then York also said she sent it, meaning she sent something from Egghead to the government to use. But what she sent wasn't just the Mother Flame, because it's still here. So the Mother Flame is Vegapunk's invention and is this thing, but whatever actually launched the attack isn't the Mother Flame. You guys get what I'm saying here? Because, like, it seemed like the weapon was that. And so now there's, like, a little bit of confusion, I think, because, like, the weapon that was used isn't it. Either they're both the Mother Flame, like Vegapunk built a duplicate one, and that's what they use, which could be the answer, right? Like, what if, so this is the original, and then York built a duplicate and sent it. But then, if that was the case, then it's kind of like, you know, I guess, why are they so hell-bent on keeping the power source if York can just make more of them? Because Topman literally said creating more Mother Flames, or creating the Mother Flame, but it's sitting here as the power source. So I think it's a little confusing. I think a lot of people have been saying like the weapon that was used is a different weapon and it was just powered by the Mother Flame. But that doesn't really make sense because of because, well, for one thing, like I said, them saying the Mother Flame is the weapon and this is, I mean, it's right here. So that already kind of throws a loop into that. But also, like I said, York sending it, that's like, it's a weapon that was made at Egghead separately. So there's some confusion there. There's some confusion there for sure. Oda's leaving that definitely up to, like, he's making it a mystery. All right, I'm gonna go back and get through some super chats. Saw John, saw Kush Daddy. Thank you to everyone who subscribed during the stream, by the way. I know it's still subscribers only, so like for the chatting. So appreciate you. Sorry about that. Mr. Bushido with the $2 or €2. Look at the cover for 472. Really look at it. Bushido, if this is a carrot, a carrot cover page, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Okay, it's oh, that's just the Sky Races leaving down to the Blue Planet one. If you're saying to really look at it because like you might think like the thing above is like a weapon or like it or something. I'm not too big at reading into that a lot. Like I think that the thing above is just the sun and like the thing on the right's the moon. If that's what you're saying, I don't know really what you're saying, but I know there's a lot of theories about the different stuff in that image being important stuff. I'm personally not too big on it because it's just like kind of, I mean, there's also multiple hieroglyphs, so it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's just the sun above, if that's what you're saying. But that is the chapter where I was mentioning, like, it's called the Blue Planet in that chapter. So that tells you that there was ocean well before even JOYBOY was born. And so why was nobody a pirate for the 200 years before that? Because like maybe you would say the ancient kingdom was so good or like so, just bountiful, whatever, it was positive place that like there was no one felt like they had to, like they had what they needed. There wasn't like a need for it. But at the same time, like you would just kind of imagine people would want to adventure. So I almost wonder if maybe the ancient kingdom was super advanced and people could just like teleport island to island or something. And so they never had a need to sail. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. But yeah, Bushido, I'm not exactly sure what you wanted me to see there, but if you want to DM me on Discord, I'll definitely peep it or just tag me and I'll look at what you're talking about. Next one, David Cott, celebrated beta member for 6 months. Appreciate you, David. Atlantis and Mu, 2 mythical kingdoms. I like that. I like that a lot. Atlas and Mu, or Atlantis and Mu. Sorry, Atlantis and Mu. I like that. I want to think about it a little bit more, but that's a really good starting place. That's like the only thing is like Atlantis is only like an R vernacular, you know what I'm saying? Like they haven't said it in One Piece, but we know that like the kingdom's probably sunk, so it fits. But I like that for sure. The Mu is definitely an Emu thing for sure, because Emu even referred to themselves as Mu, right? So yeah. Kush Daddy with the $5. The Mother Flame looks a bit like off-brand Devil Fruit swirls. Ooh. I wonder if there's a connection. That's interesting. See, and what I really like about that, Kush Daddy, is, the fire inside here is like in water, right? Or like in some liquid, some solution, whatever it is. So having a fire in liquid, it's like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Like right off the bat, like that's really weird. And the reason why I think that relates to devil fruits is that devil fruits, like devil fruit users, can't swim in the water, right? They get weak in the water. So tying back to this fire thing, like, well, if fire goes in the water, it also gets weak. It usually just dies. If you saw in Wano, I think it was Prometheus, right? Whenever Big Mom gets like sent off Onigashima, Prometheus goes down and goes into the water to get Big Mom and comes out okay. I almost wonder if that Prometheus line is like, or that Prometheus scene is like a foreshadowing or something for this, because he's soul powered, right? He's not just fire. He's a fire with someone's soul in it. And so tying it to this, is this just tied to like someone's soul? Because it goes back to Kuma in the 21 grams of soul thing, right? Because we're wondering how Kuma's still operating right now. Vegapunk doesn't even know. By Vegapunk's estimation, Kuma should just be like a vegetable, right? but he's not. He's still operating and kind of acting with some kind of his own consciousness somehow, or his own will at least. And I almost wonder if this is what it all is. It's like that undying flame of like your own will or whatever, right? Where like even in water that it wouldn't extinguish it, which maybe is hinted by Prometheus. That's really interesting. That's incredible. I'm going to scroll through real quick to see if I missed any gifted memberships, just because sometimes those don't show up on my end as easily. I think I saw Bean Boy, the GOAT, the LeBrun creator, with 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, Bean Boy. Welcome everyone to the Afro Gang. Yeah, I'm glad I saw that because it does not pop up on Streamlabs, but I'm glad I got it. Okay, I'm going to go get back in order, though. Mr. Bushido with the €5 again. On the wall, and L... Oh, you're explaining your earlier message, I think. On the wall, and L looks at... And on the... I can't speak. On the wall, and L looks at, there are 3 objects in a circle. A flame, a shield, and spears, and a flower. Look at it. 3 power sources. Fire, electricity... Again, for like you might be right. I think for me it's a little bit too much. If I can even open the image, I have a colored version I'm trying to open because that helps a little bit. See, I think the fire above, that's just the sun. You know what? Because like that's what that thing is in general, is meant to indicate is the sun. So like, could there be a hint there? Maybe, but I feel like we know the sun is like a giant fireball, kind of, right? So I guess I'm trying to say, I don't know if Oda's hinting anything here, I guess is what I'm saying. Then you also said a flame, a shield and spears, and a flower. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's already enough like lore here. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how much Oda's hiding. But I mean, it's definitely important because I mean, they talk about the blue planet. And I talk about this a lot in my next video, which I'll give you guys a little bit of a preview, which I do need to change some things. Dilcor, I don't know if you're in the chat. I unfortunately might have to change a couple things, my man. I'm sorry. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's nothing major, but a couple things in the section you edited. By the way, everyone, go check out Dilcor if you haven't already. He makes great videos. Also, that's why he edits mine, because they're so good. But I talk about this a lot. We're talking about the lacking natural resources part. That's got to be like the name of the game for the Void Century, in my estimation, is like this whole natural resource idea. Because even Vegapunk talks about needing resources for technology. God Valley was about resources. I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but like the battle for Earth is about resources. Like that's what the Void Century is. That's what, that's why everyone wants the control. That's why people want control of places in general, is because like, it's just more abundance for themselves, kind of. But yeah, I see a couple messages popping up on Discord. Bushido, I bet you, or I hope at least one's used. You're probably explaining more about that idea. I will answer right after this, because there's a lot of theorizing to do about this chapter. This chapter was peak, 10 out of 10. Shout out to the 300 people here, by the way, or about 300 people. Thank you very much. If you guys would not mind liking the stream, that would be amazing and help with the algorithm. Adam Murray celebrated being a member for 6 months. Confirmation that Nika and JOYBOY are different. Very true. Very, very true. I think a lot of people, or at least I was assuming that or theorizing that was the case, but it is good to get a confirmation of that. That Nika is from even before that, and that, I think there's a good chance that Nika never even existed. I'll be honest with you. I think there's a good chance that Nika is like a myth that like somebody say. I've talked about this in videos before, so some of you probably heard this, but I think there's a good chance that Nika was just like use Luffy as an example, right? Luffy is Nika, but he's not, right? He's just a dude with rubber powers, but people think he's Nika because of this legend. I bet you the very first guy who turned into this form, probably got the name Sun God Nika because he brought the sun, saved a bunch of people, whatever. They just worshipped him as a god. And now that's just what we call it. Like there probably wasn't an actual one. It was just probably started as like a normal dude. At least that's what I think. Now, could it be a person? Maybe, but I think Oda would be cooking like 5 times as much if it wasn't a real person, right? Like it's like what Luffy is now, like a man-made story that they just pass down as if it's real. I think that would be like, that just fits in line with everything else in One Piece, because like there aren't real gods, right? That's That's been the tried and true lesson through all of One Piece, is there aren't actual gods. If there is a god, it's because it's a name, right? It's not because they are actually other. Maybe they can be otherworldly in some ways, because like devil fruits, you know, are crazy. Underworld might be tied to the Gorosei, whatever. But yeah, I think Oda be cooking more. So I'm glad we got that confirmation. That's a good call out, Adam, for sure. Mr. Bushido again with the €2. Break week next week, back May 24th, Carrot's birthday. I would not be surprised at all if we get Carrot, like a custom Carrot cover story, like an Oda request drawing or whatever. Or it could be from Noda Skywalker, who is probably just Oda, which I know there's maybe a little bit of debate on that, but I feel pretty convinced that Noda Skywalker is Oda. Noda Skywalker has had way too many requests. Noda Skywalker is either Oda or like Oda's kids or like Oda's family. You know what I mean? Because like there's been so many. And so I bet you next week gonna be a Noda Skywalker thing, which like he doesn't usually dip away from those. Maybe it'll be a colored one though, a color page, right? Maybe we'll do one of those. But yeah, break week, so we're back May 24th. Yeah, so so it will be, yeah, you're right, the 24th, because it'll probably be a Friday. Yeah, good call. And I guess, so what, next Friday we have the Buggy Bash on Kev D OG's channel, which I will be at. So definitely check his channel out if you guys haven't already. Actually, you know what I should be doing right now is making this. I'm going to edit the stream real quick so that whenever this stream ends, it will go over to Kev's stream. Because Kev... Oh, not the control room. Oops. Please don't end the stream. We're good, right? Okay. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, and I never go over there. I didn't want the stream to end. But yeah, this is going to end into Kev DOG's stream, which starts right after this. So definitely head over there once it's over. We're not ending yet. We got another 30, 40 plus minutes at least talking about this. But just wanted to let you guys know. Adam Murray with the $2. Buccaneer, JOYBOY, all but confirmed first Pirates. I don't know about Buccaneer. I feel like there's a good chance, but I mean, I think Giant or Ancient Giant is most likely for JOYBOY, honestly. You know, I know a lot of people have talked about this, but at least to my knowledge, the first YouTube video I ever saw on this was from Marshall D. Preach about Orz's JOYBOY. Not Orz from Thriller Bark, but the Orz before that, because Orz Jr. is Orz the third, like it said on his flag. Orz from Thriller Bark would be Orz the second, even though we don't actually know that, but that would be the assumption. And I bet the first one was JOYBOY. That's where I'm at. But I mean, Buccaneers have Giant's blood in them. So it's kind of like a neither here nor there thing, because I feel like they're related. You know what I'm saying? Like they're you know, descendants of one another or something like that. But yeah, I mean, the first Pirates, that's like, I need to really think about that. I really need to think about why that would happen. Like, why were there no pirates? It's got to just be like no one felt like it, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to think about that more. Kush Daddy with the $20 super chat. Kush Daddy, thank you, my man. I know you super chatted earlier too. Thank you, bro. Really, really appreciate it. JOYBOY was from the ancient kingdom, was from an advanced kingdom, probably what you meant, meaning Wano, Shandora, others were just friends he met along the way and used his flag, not the kingdom's. Perhaps the 20 kingdoms were places JOYBOY also went to and grew envious of the tech and other weapons JOYBOY accumulated. Perhaps the 20 kings were, or 20 kings were places JOYBOY went to. So I think what you're saying is that, like, I love when you guys max out the character limit. It just takes me a second sometimes to understand it. So you're saying JOYBOY was from the advanced kingdom, like the ancient kingdom, I think is what you're saying. And so he met Wano, Shandora, and others along the way. And so they are friends with JOYBOY, not the ancient kingdom, is what you're saying. And then the 20 kings were places that JOYBOY went to, and those 20 kings grew envious of JOYBOY because he went there and showed off the technology and stuff that he had from the kingdom. Is that what you're saying? I think that's it, which makes sense to me. I like that. I guess my one kind of call out is for the Shandorians, because while we see the Shandorians as like tribal people almost, you know what I mean? And like they even rejected like, medicine and vaccines and whatever from Noland during that flashback, which like, showed they were like kind of defensive of like scientific progress loosely, right? That was like a faith versus science kind of debate in that flashback. And the thing there is that the Shandorians are descendants of the Shandians, who are from the moon, which was highly advanced. So I guess that's one kind of element here, is that Shandora should have been friends with the ancient kingdom, because I would find it almost impossible to believe that like the ancient kingdom was really advanced and they didn't know about like the moon race, or there wasn't a connection between the two. Like maybe the ancient kingdom, like that was a part of the ancient kingdom, was that moon race, which is part of my video, not like a major part, but that's part of it, is like, if they're so highly advanced up there on the moon, then that race also has to be part of the ancient kingdom, I feel like. Because also just by virtue of them needing resources from Earth, then you kind of run into the issue of like, well, if they were up on the moon but living for a while, and it was only like when stuff broke or whatever, and they had to go down to the Earth for more resources, it's like, well, they obviously had some tie to the Earth to begin with. Like they probably started at Earth, took resources up to space with them, ran out, and had to go back, or something like that is like my assumption. And so I guess it just throws a wrench in it, where it's like the Shandorians should have been allied with them, in that regard, because they came down at least 1,100 years ago. It's such a tough conundrum. This is like the type of thing where I just gotta like sit on the couch for like an hour and just stare at the ceiling and it'll come to me. Or I gotta go like mow the lawn. That's when all my greatest ideas come to me, is mowing the lawn. Mowing the lawn. No voice crack. Jeez. I need to drink some water. I've had so many run-on sentences that my throat is getting tired. All right. Yeah, Kush Daddy, I'm gonna think about that more. We'll talk in the Discord about it, because I'm not exactly sure where I'm at on it yet. Oda's really cooking with this though. Like, leave it up to Oda to have this whole speech from Vegapunk about the world is sinking. Here's the Void Century. Like bad things are happening, blah, 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 blah. But then he brings it back to the main character. I brought this up in my review for chapter 1100, I want to say it was, where we're in the middle of the Kuma flashback, and he has Kuma pull up to Goa Kingdom, to whatever, Fuchsia Village, while Luffy's training. And I was like, this is why Oda's the GOAT, right? He builds these awesome characters. He gives them their own fully fleshed out stories, makes us really invested in them. But then he finds a way of roping it back into the main character in like a very organic way, right? It always wraps back to Luffy somehow, which is like so necessary for the story to like, it makes it so like all these other side things are even bigger than they already were, because it's like, oh, this ties to Luffy too. Oh, Luffy's involved in this, like. And so here with JOYBOY, we're learning about JOYBOY, as this is all going on, which is going to tell us a lot about Luffy, right? Like we're going to make some comparisons or some parallels here. So like, I love how Oda does that, man. Oda's is just masterful. Lonely Mage with a $10 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. If JOYBOY is the first pirate, the One Piece is the first pirate's treasure. Oh, dude, cooking. I love that. That kind of gives a new way to look at the One Piece, I feel like. Like what would the first pirate ever find that was so awesome that he like made it the greatest treasure for every other pirate to find? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how that, like, I still think it's an afro, and his afro. But that could be the thing, is by the end of his journey, he realized that the treasure he has is the memories of the journey, which is like a little cliche, but I kind of like that idea, because that's what the afro would be, is like his memories of it, right? Or whatever. I like that, actually. A good point, Lonely Mage. Cooking as usual. Bean Boy with the $2 super chat. New LeBron drop in memes is on Discord. All right, let me pull this up real quick. Let me go check this right now. One Piece memes. Let me see which one. Oh, there's a lot of memes in here. Wow. Hey, I need to check this out more often. Wait. Oh no. Oh, I just saw the Lucia X with Drake meme. I just saw that. That's hilarious. Oh, David, that picture you put earlier, that's hilarious. Technically a little bit of a spoiler, but nothing too major because before I read it, but I'm not too worried about it. Uh oh, dude, Bean Boy, that's amazing. Laboon with the headband, that's funny, bro. Laboon's forehead is just about as big as LeBron's is too, so that works out perfectly. They got the same hairline. Um, which I love making fun of LeBron. He's the goat, so he can take a little bit of heat. Let me find the Streamlabs. There it is. Thank you, Bean Boy. Appreciate you. Everyone, if you want to join the Discord, link should be down below. Definitely go check out the meme channel for sure. Isaac, or I don't know how to pronounce the Twitch one, man, but Isaac resubscribed over on Twitch with a Prime sub for 11 months. Appreciate you, bro. Had the pleasure of meeting you at Anime NYC. And I don't know if you're going again, but we are like 3 months away from the next one, which is crazy because they moved it up this year. So if anyone's going, let's definitely meet up. We're gonna have a whole group going again of other One Piece creators. So I gotta check the list again, but I think it's like the same ones as last year for anyone who was following that. Sam Fisher with the $5 and the $10, so 15 combined. I see it's 2 messages. So I think with this chapter, we visited every single major location in the story during this message, plus a few extras. The only ones I think we've yet to see are Skypiea, Little Garden, and maybe Wano, but they're all special cases. And Wano, we've kind of seen, like, we haven't seen their reaction to this, but we see them in the cover story. So I know that's not what you're saying, but I guess we kind of have seen them. So then not seeing Skypiea and Little Garden, if we were to break it down that way, so we only haven't seen the Sky Islands and Little Garden, I think that's really crazy because, like, those places merged together is what Elbaf is going to be. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have the Adam Tree there. It's like Little Garden because the giants are there, so that's the parallel there. But then Skypiea with the Adam Tree, that maybe is the summit to High West and all that. I think that's really interesting that you brought that up. And you might be right about visiting every island we've been to. Well, like I don't think we've seen Gaimon's island, which is disrespectful if true. My goat Gaimon needs to be in the chapter. Um, hmm. That's really interesting, Sam. And I mean, Skypiea strikes me as the type of place that might hear about which, yeah, they wouldn't know because I don't think they would have video transponders now, so they wouldn't have heard, right? But they kind of strike me as the place where, like, even if they heard a flood was coming, I bet you they have, like, legends about it. Like, because again, they're from the moon, right? So that goes back to what I was saying earlier with, whose super chat was it? Kush Daddy, maybe? Yeah. Where I was like, the Shandorians are from the moon, which the moon was really, really highly advanced, and that was before the Void Century started. So we know that they're also high tech, kind of like the Ancient Kingdom. So it wouldn't surprise me if, like, the Skypeans had a legend about the sea flooding beneath them, like the blue sea flooding, and maybe that's why they chose the Sky Islands, because the Skypeans and the Birkins stayed up in the sky, but the Shandorians went down to the blue sea, and that's why the Shandorians were, like, friends with JOYBOY in the Ancient Kingdom, presumably because they protected a poneglyph at least, right? Um, I feel, I don't know. There's a reason Oda's leaving those places out, is what I'll say. For Little Garden, I think the reason might just be that no one's there anymore, so there might be no one to show reacting. But that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what Skypiea would even be saying because they don't have it, but still, like, I don't know. Good point, Sam Fisher. Um, excuse me, I'm, like, burping or hiccuping every other word now. Whenever I talk a lot, that happens. Whenever I record my videos, the same thing happens. When it's, like, really long and I'm recording for, like, an hour or two straight. Yeah, I always, same thing. Wow, we got a lot more. Thank you guys for all the support. There's quite a few more to get through here. Thank you guys. Want to give you all a big thank you. We are going to get through them all. If you super chatted, don't worry. We are going to get to it. Bean Boy with the $20. Man, thank you for all the support today, Bean Boy. 100% speculation. I love the precursor, just so I know. But you're probably cooking anyway. But JOYBOY could have been higher up in the Ancient Kingdom. The Ancient Kingdom gets destroyed by the 20 Kings. JOYBOY roams the seas fighting the world government, in turn becoming the first pirate recognized by the world government. Again, 100% speculation. Okay, you're actually cooking. Remove the speculation. Wait, delete it, because we're cooking here. That's okay. No, you explaining it that way really that's totally changed my perspective on this, because the Void Century started 900 years ago, and we know it was a century-long conflict, basically. And even the Tentata have a blank gap in their history, and they were in a 20 kings controlled country, right? So it's like even the country the kings owned had the same time skip or whatever this 100-year gap is, like whatever, however it works. Um, and so going to what you're saying, yeah, it could be that like Joy Boy took to the seas. So it said he was born 900 years ago, right? So a century long period, blah blah blah. So he said he was born, right, in the it not born 900 years ago. Was born 900 years ago. Yeah, so he was born at the very start of the Void Century. And so I like what you're saying, because that means that it was the Void Century when he became a pirate. The 20 Kings were already trying to take over when he was a pirate, and so they probably like noticed that noticed that, and that's why he's called the first pirate, is because it's the first man the government, it's like the first explorer that became an enemy to the government, if that makes sense, to the 20 Kings specifically. So and so like the ancient kingdom wouldn't have called him a pirate. There were probably other people sailing the sea back then. It's just he was the first one to sail the seas and be an enemy, so he became a pirate in that regard. That actually that makes a lot more sense. That yeah, because it could be that he was born 900 years ago, and so like his life from his perspective, there's just like a lot of war, because like 20 Kings were probably starting the war back then. And so he probably went out and was just trying to have an adventure and maybe even avoid the war, but just got roped into it because like his friends kept getting hurt. Like the islands he would visit would have the 20 Kings messing with them. I Yeah, maybe the 20 Kings were almost like pirates too in that regard, and they just kind of kept meeting at like different places and fighting, and that's what made them mortal enemies. See, this is why I like to take my time thinking about the theories. Sometimes you guys just fill in the blanks for me. Yeah, Bean Boy, you got it. I think you're cooking right now for sure. I think that's the fact he was born when it started really helps that mystery, because it seems weird to me that nobody would sail beforehand, right? Like if there's a blue sea, like someone's gonna go on the water, like no one's gonna avoid it. So yeah, that you're cooking, my man. ZMP323. Oda has cooked up the finest 7-course meal writing on Egghead. Happy to have been rocking with the best along the way. Mole Gang for life. Like D-Stream. Appreciate you, ZMP. Glad to see you. I was going to say I feel like it's been a minute, but it might just be because it's been a couple weeks since a chapter. But I'm glad to see you here for sure. Make sure you sign up for the next TCG giveaway if you haven't already, ZMP. You're probably a member. You usually are. But make sure you sign up, because I know you signed up before. But I agree, man. This is like I don't think any of us were ready for this when Wano ended. You know what I mean? Like Wano ended and we got like, I think it was like Luffy's second dream discussion, then Blackbeard invading Amazon Lily, and then Leloucia attack happened, and then just Egghead's been crazy ever since. Like Oda left Wano behind and went right back to just cooking constantly. You know what I mean? Egghead's been just off the wall amazing, and Elbaf is going to be maybe even better. I think Elbaf's going to be my favorite arc by the end of the story, but Egghead's going to be in the top 5 probably by the end of this. Claudio David with the €1 super chat. I don't think there was a message attached. If there was, just message in the chat now and like tag me. Just like put @Daxake, and it'll be orange for me. If you tag me, it pops up orange, so I'll see it. If you did have a message. But otherwise, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, Claudio. Kuya Pixel super chatted $5. I think Egghead is gonna explode like a nuke. I got Atomu is how I want to say it, but I think you're saying like atom ooh, right? Like atom, like molecule, like atom even smaller than that, I think is what you're trying to say, but like atom ooh. I got Adam Ooh, or whatever, how you're going to say it, from that Mother Flame label with a Moo. Also, we need a Laboon Union role for the Discord. We do, okay, yeah. We do need a Laboon Union role for the Discord, and we need to make sure that JJ is banned from having that role. He needs I might make a role just for the opposite, just so people know he's the enemy. You know what I mean? But Adam, ooh, like that's interesting because it's like a and moo, like it has like the ampersand in the middle, and so I wonder if like we're supposed to like fill in the gap, like that ampersand is supposed to mean like a word to make like you said Adam ooh, like it should be and is usually what the ampersand means, so like and moo, which that alone is interesting, but hmm. Yeah, this a moo thing. Like, why would Vegapunk put that there? Like, I know why Oda would put it there, because he wants us to just have our brains explode at Moo being on this thing. But why would Vegapunk put that there? You know, because he doesn't really know about Emu. He might. He probably knows there was a person named Emu. I don't know if he knows Emu is real or not yet. But even though even if he did, he wouldn't put it there on purpose. You know what I mean? If he knew Emu would exist, he probably wouldn't put it there. But either way, I wonder. I don't know. Claudio, I saw you message said no message. Thank you for the stream, Claudio. Thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's amazing. All right, John Sherrod, JJ, what you have to? I already know Topman is going to be somewhere in this message. Before I even read it, I have not read it yet. There's no way. Oh, it's in there multiple times. Thoughts on Topman showing he's the top man on Egghead at 11:14. Anti-Laboon League is forever like Wu-Tang. Hey, JJ, if you want to have the anti-Laboon League, it's gonna be like the Big Three League. You know what I mean? Like it's the Laboon Union is the NBA, and the anti-Laboon League is the Big Three. You know what I mean? With who is it? Is it Ice Cube or Ice? I think it's Ice. Someone like that is running it, and they aren't making any money. So yeah, that's that's that comparison. Ain't no anti. You're gonna have no one signing up either. I don't know. I don't know how many people are gonna join the anti-Laboon League, especially from this chat. If you go to other places, there might be. You might find some other people, but I don't know. You might have to go to some dark places to find those. Um, I saw something I wanted to answer in the chat. Formless, you said and in Japanese is pronounced toe. Is that true? I mean, well, not that I think you're lying, but I know, Japanese is, there's a lot of like context matters a lot and stuff, but if that's true, so it is like toe, so it is like Adam ooh. That's crazy. Put some respect on the big three. List Sung Jin Woo. Look, the the big three offered what did they didn't they offer Caitlin Clark like double digit $1 million and she turned it down and she makes way less of the WNBA. I think that's the case. But JJ, I will comment on Topman for you because you did super chat. So um you know I think Oda's overdoing it here with the broken hand thing. We already saw that. I don't know why he's got to do it again. But what I will say is that it was kind of cool seeing Topman breathing some fire. It's not going to do a whole lot, but that's pretty cool. So he has fire. Nustro can use ice. Saturn has poison. I bet you Mars is going to have electricity because he's the sky guy tying back to an L, right? Oh yeah, he's going to have electricity for sure. Guys, put money on that. Go on Bovada or Prize Picks or whatever you're going on, Bet 365, whatever it is, a Bet MGM, and go put all your stocks on Mars having lightning powers at some point for sure. So fire, ice, we'll just say lightning, poison, and so Peter's the only one left, right? Mars already shot a beam. Well, beam's very close to like electricity because like laser beams. You know what I'm saying? But he probably has more at his disposal. It's probably even more than that. But yeah, lasers. So there you go. Lasers, basically electricity. So there you go. YCU said Earth. Yeah, I mean Earth. I wonder what like the Earth powers would be with Peter. Other than just like digging and causing earthquakes, which might work, but I just don't know what the, like, is he gonna like control mud? You know what I mean? Like maybe it's just being able to dig in the earth itself is the power we're talking. But that would be kind of dumb because like Mars has the laser thing and can fly, so Peter should be able to dig and have something else. Earth bending like Toph, that would be dope. I'm ready to see what Peter's cooking, man. Peter's climbing my list. Mars is my favorite design now. No disrespect to Nostro. I know Nostro is amazing, but Mars has eclipsed him, at least for me personally, as far as my favorite design. So I like him, but Drew Peters right behind him, big time. So I would love to see some earth bending or something like that. But I think just creating earthquakes might just be simple enough for him, maybe. Time Lord used 100 bits. Appreciate you, man. Oh, bring in the spice as usual, and it's a long one, which I like because you're usually cooking. Get this: the AMU is a Japanese wordplay pun by Oda. In Japanese, "and" is pronounced as two. Okay, so going back to before two or toe, two, whatever. So the AMU is actually pronounced as Atomu or Atom, maybe hinting that the mother flame uses nuclear fusion or fission, which it does. We actually know that it's a fusion reactor, right? Also, Atomu could reference Tetsuwan Atomu, Mighty Atom, Astro Boy's Japanese name. Ooh, okay, now you're cooking. My thought, though, could this tie into Elbaf? Atom or Atom Tree? Did life, the world, or humans originate from Elbaf? Wait.
Someone cooked here.
The Atom Tree? The Atom Tree. That's crazy, man. Like in a good way. I'm just trying to think of how to respond without spoiling any future videos, because you may have seen some stuff I've talked about in the Discord a little bit, but I think the Atom Tree, not that it is the Devil Fruit Tree, but it probably ties to the Devil Fruit Tree in a very major way. And so for the Atom Tree to actually be the Atom Tree and to tie to this power source thing, and this leads back to my theory about why the Atom Tree has to fall at some point, which I didn't even bring this stuff up. I just think it has to for other reasons, but wow. And you mentioned the atom thing with nuclear fusion or fission. We actually saw that the power source is a fusion reactor. They said that in chapter 1089 or 1089, I think. So the atom stuff, I like that. And Oda's making it A and Mu because then it ties to Emu more. Oda just how do we keep letting Oda get away with this? Every time, like, Oda just doesn't stop, man. It's always just cooking. Like what? Like all so he's cooking all this other stuff. How does he even have time to think about this little throw-in thing here? You know what I mean? Oh man, Time Lord as usual, as just straight cooking as usual. Here.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Appreciate you, Time Lord. Always cooking. Bean Boy celebrated being a member for 13 months. That's over a year. That's amazing. Topman equal power bottom. Thank you. Yep, JJ. You heard like, and look, like I tell Jay. Well, I'm not gonna keep dogging on Topman. JJ, I'll do that in the Discord. I got plenty more where that came from. Kuya Pixels celebrated being a member for 8 months. Roasted pig or pig in a blanket equal Topman the creep. Love the Topman slander. Love it. Yeah, I might have some bacon tomorrow. I might go to Wendy's and get myself a baconator. You know what? Whenever Zoro slices up Topman in the future, which is still my agenda, I'm definitely gonna get some bacon when that happens for sure. Terrible TJ. It's been a while, man. I feel like I haven't seen you in, well, I think you might have super chatted last stream or did something. I can't remember, but thank you either way, man. Celebrated being a member for 14 months. Hey, what up, everyone? Like the stream. Yes, please, everyone. If you have not already, it would do wonders for the algorithm going forward for the VOD, right? Because people still get recommended this later, so would be amazing. Adam Murray with the $2. If true, Ancient Kingdom didn't make devil fruits. Oh, so you're saying... Are you talking about the last part with him like with Sun God Nika and stuff. Yeah, so you're saying that the devil fruits are older is what that's saying. It's really tough to say because like the ancient kingdom could have been around for thousands of years before the void century. I don't think we really have a grasp on that yet. And so it's tough because what if the ancient kingdom was around for 2,000 years and they made it at the very start, and that's what made them so bountiful and and advanced and whatever, right? Um, yeah, I got to think about, like, that's just a, or it could be that they made them. I don't know. I'm gonna think about that more because that's an interesting angle now that we kind of have this, like, now that we have the separation of Joy Boy and Nika, like we know there is one. It's like we kind of rethink about that. Um, Interesting to think about for sure. Sam Fisher with the $5. Thank you for all the support today, bro. I hope in chapter 11-15 we get people who know Luffy to make the connection that Joy Boy's abilities are like Luffy's powers, maybe even Luffy himself. I feel like Luffy is going to be the last. Well, I don't think Luffy's ever going to even accept it. I think he's going to be like, I'm not Joy Boy, I'm not Nika. You know what I mean? Like, I bet you he doesn't even think about it. I bet you. I'm trying to think. Excuse me. I bet you. I bet you Robin or Nami is gonna do it, and Robin would be more likely because Robin knows a lot more about Joy Boy from like reading the poneglyphs, like at least the apology one in Fishman Island, right? But then for Nami, I mean, she's like one of the OGs, so that's important. But also, like whenever Vegapunk was talking about Luffy's fruit earlier this arc, Nami was the one conversing with him about it, saying like, "Oh, he has the gum gum fruit." No, I've never heard of that name or whatever, right? It was, and then Nami had this like stunned panel, like with like the light shining down from Luffy or whatever. So I think Nami would make sense, but Robin might make a little more sense just because like she just knows Joy Boy mainly. But I agree with you, Sam Fisher. I hope we get some people like, so Luffy is Joy Boy, and then and Luffy probably is just laughing over there, not paying attention, kind of like he is here, right? Now I think that's why Oda juxtaposed these things, like Vegapunk saying he was born 900 years ago, his body was rubbery, they called him Joy Boy, etc. While he's saying that, we have Luffy trying to punch Topman and hurting his hand, and they're like, "You're cracking us up!" Like Luffy's making them laugh because that's what Joy Boy does, right? Even in the heat of the moment, he can make people laugh and like bring joy like that, which is why that whole thing about like Gear 5 ruins tension or whatever because like he's laughing all the time. For me, I think it like adds to it because of stuff like this, like him being happy and laughing in the moment of despair in like these intense moments that's why he's Joy Boy. You know what I mean? That is it right there, is that he's always this happy, free-loving guy, and he's bringing that everywhere he goes, no matter what kind of thing. So you can see it right here. They're juxtaposing that. So Oda, as always, just straight cooking. I mean, just even like the inter-panel organization is just amazing, in my opinion. This is why I like the manga more than the anime for the most part. Some episodes are just undeniably amazing, but stuff like this is just, he does so much on the page, Big Cheap with the $10 super chat. Glad I got to catch a stream. Me too, bro. It's been a minute. Usually can't watch while working. I'll send a pic of my Garling cosplay at the end of the month. Ooh. Don't know his official colors, but I'm winging it. Like the stream. I would go with red hair because it might be white now, but it's got to be red, right? As for the rest of the outfit, I mean, good luck. Although, didn't we get the volume released with Garling in it? Isn't that out now? So I don't know if he's on the cover. That would be the only place where the coloring would be. So I don't know. But definitely let me see that. And also, Big Cheap, are you going to Anime NYC in August and wearing that? I think we talked about that before, right? I think that was you who mentioned the cosplay. But I just can't remember if you said you're going to Anime NYC with it. So let me know if you're going, because we'll definitely meet up if you are going, for sure. Got a couple more here. Lord Vegeta, aka Ragnar the Goat. Been a member for 13 months. Appreciate you for being a member for more than a year. Chapter was dope. Liked the stream. Yes, it was, man. Yes, it was. Vegeta, you know, every chapter we inch closer and closer to Elbaf, which means we're inching closer and closer to Shiki's return. At least that's what, you know, you and I are ready for. I don't know about everyone else, because Shiki's gonna shock the world when that happens, but he's coming back at some point. So appreciate you, my man. Growth Stonk super chatted $5. Do you think each Gorosei is an expert in each Rokushiki technique? Keep cooking, cook king. I appreciate that, man. Growth Stonks. And each Rokushiki technique. So are you saying that because Topman here is hurting Luffy's hand? Because I'm glad you brought that up, because Topman, remember when he hurt Luffy's hand before, Luffy was just in regular, was he in gear 3rd, right? I can't even remember now. I'm blanking. I think he was in gear 3rd, wasn't he? And hold on. Yeah, cuz then he ate the meat from the giants, right? That's what happened. It was 2 chapters ago, wasn't it? I can't remember. But it's interesting that you brought that up, because now we see it happening so he was in gear 3rd and did Red Rock. That's right. And so he hurt his hand, but we see that still happens in gear 5th. So that's actually really important, I think, right? Because like it shows that it wasn't just that Luffy went into gear 3rd, which is weaker than gear 5th, which is what I thought it was. I thought it was a sign that like Luffy needs gear 5th to fight these guys. That was my interpretation. But this is showing that no, he even with gear 5th, Topman can deal that kind of damage. That's probably why Luffy hit him again, because he even says this next move is going to work, because he's like confident that he fixed it this time. So going back to your point, Growth Stonks, I guess, so if he's Iron Body, I guess we'd have to think about the other ones. Like who would have Finger Pistol? I feel like they should all be masters in all 5, you know what I mean? But them each having like a complete mastery of one to like a level we've never seen before, I kind of like that too. Because CP9 did the same thing, right? Like they could, the top ones could use a lot of them, but they usually each specialized in one. And I think Lucci was the only one who could use like 6 King Gun or whatever, right? So maybe Emu has something relative to that. They can just clean people out, you know, immediately, like no problem, kind of like a Conqueror's Hockey Blast sort of thing, but like even better. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting to think about, Growth Stonks. I'm gonna think on that more, just because like I'm not sure who would have what yet, but I like the idea for sure. Spencer with the $5. My first thought on AMU was I am the Alpha and Omega. I like that too. Sort of an all-encompassing feeling. I love that too. Because like you think about this flame, going back to the idea of Kuma and his 21 grams of soul, and like how that might be tied to the ancient power source, and how that might be what the robot's using, blah blah blah, like all that kind of stuff. Like the undying flame sort of thing. I kind of like that, because like going back to your idea of like the Alpha and Omega, like beginning and end, like that's what your soul kind of is, right? Like when you come into being, it's when your soul exists, and you exist until that soul or will goes away, right? Until it's forgotten, blah blah blah. That's what Hiryuck told us. So I kind of like that idea too. I mean, Oda could be doing like a double or triple entendre here, to be honest. So Spencer cooking, I love that. That's great. That's a great point. Birch with the $2 super chat. Drum is the only missing country. Kureha knows. Ooh, Drum. Okay, so if we don't have Skypiea, Skypiea, Drum Island tying to the Drum's liberation, like there might actually be a reason Oda's not showing us those. Like it. Basically, like Oda could just show us Kureha and not spoil anything crazy, but maybe he's saving it because next time we see Drum, there's going to be something like amazing going on there. Or they might have like a lot of flooding going on right now, even. Maybe that's why, because he doesn't want us to see that they're struggling until like a later point, maybe. Because maybe everyone is going up on top of the points of Drum Kingdom right now, and Oda just doesn't want us to see it, because maybe them being all up on the high point of the island is like kind of like a signal to everyone that like that's what everyone's going to do, kind of in the, you know, around the world to save themselves. So that's interesting for sure. 3-day trip, celebrated being a member for 16 months. Appreciate you, Nakama, since day one. First Earthbender was a badger mole in Avatar. Ooh, you're right. Pluton is a mole that created the walls around Wano but can also destroy. I like that. So Pluton, so going back to the idea that Peter can maybe control the Earth in some way, because he's, you know, going to like this elemental power thing. Pluton might be a better version of Peter, which I has to be, I would say, if Pluton does dig, you know. And so it creating the walls because it's like an earthbender. I like that. And it makes sense because like for Pluton to be like locked in Wano in a situation where the walls have to be destroyed for Pluton to get out, it kind of makes sense to me that Pluton would have created them, because it's like, if you made the walls first, how did you get Pluton in there afterward? Like Pluton had to be there and then the walls had to be put around it to lock it in, right? Like, doesn't that kind of make just logistical sense? Because if it's a thing where there's like a door to open to put him in and like lock the key, like then you wouldn't need to destroy the walls to free him. It's like the walls and Pluton are almost like the same thing, or they're connected in some way. And so I like that. Like maybe Pluton went under Wano, put the walls up, but cased himself in stone in the same motion, and to free him you have to break the walls. I like that a lot. And that ties to my next video about how Zunisha connects to Pluton, because Zunisha is meant to free Pluton by destroying those walls. And I have a really good theory about why that is, and like who Zunisha truly was and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So who is Ray? Celebrated being a member for 2 months. Appreciate you, Ray. Super gluing that dude's mailbox worked great. Thanks. Wait, did I say that in a stream? Do I not remember? Did I actually tell you to wait? I'm confused. Wait. I can't. Did I say that in a stream or something? Did I actually say that? Well, I'm glad it worked, Ray. I'm very glad it did. That's Oh wait, mute. Oh, I just found a new option on Streamlabs that I'd never seen before, right next to your message. That might be an update. That might be a brand new thing. That's really strange. But yeah, well, I'm glad that worked. Slip with the $5 super chat. In that 472 color, there's a Sea King, Poseidon, Crab, Pluton, and Flying Thing Uranus. The winged creature holding matches, not spears. Maybe Mother Flame. We talked about this a little bit earlier. There's been a lot of theories about this page, which maybe I can just bring it up at this point. I don't want to bring it up too long, because then, you know, the One Piece gods are going to come down and smite me, which is ironic with this, but I'll bring it up for a second. So this is what everyone's talking about right here. So this is what Bushido brought up earlier, and this is what Slip is talking about right now. So basically, so what you're saying is the Sea King. So you're saying down here is Poseidon, Flying Thing, maybe this or this is Uranus, and you're trying to say the crab, or this thing maybe is Pluton. For me, I get the, because this is such an important panel, like it's hieroglyphs from the past. We're talking about moon, high-tech kingdoms. I get the allure of like looking at this and trying to think like these are the ancient weapons. There's a hint for the power source, etc. I think that Oda already put enough here where like the thing in the bottom right, that people like the crab or the fish thing, I think that's just a sign that it's like the Earth, because they call it the blue planet in here. So I don't think it's really a hint to Poseidon, because I think there's a chance these guys don't even know who the ancient weapons are. You know what I mean? And they made the hieroglyphs. So there's like, I think there's a good chance they are unaware of these people anyway. And then like up here is the sun, because like obviously that would be there. So like, could those be hints for the ancient weapons? Maybe, but I would lean more towards those being like, you know, just trying to paint the situation. You know what I mean? Now maybe I'm being too naive. That's totally possible. Maybe I'll eat my words here in 2 weeks, or you know, whenever this comes out. Could be 2 weeks at this rate. Oda's just cooking nonstop. But I think it's more just like sun, earth, ship they're flying on. And now, could those be parallels for the ancient weapons? Maybe, but I don't think it's like a like, I don't think Pluton's gonna end up being a crab, or that the Uranus is gonna be like a high-tech ship like that. You know what I mean? But I think it could be a parallel, just that all three represent, you know, important parts of surviving on Earth or whatever, right? Because like, especially if there's a flood, because like having Poseidon around would definitely help with flooding stuff. Having a battleship that can maybe dig underground would be very helpful for a flood. Having a flying anything would be helpful for a flood, and I bring that up in my video too. So like I think they could be parallels, but I'm not super big on them being like the ancient weapons. But like I said, if I'm wrong, you will get all the flowers in the world for sure. You'll get a bouquet sent right to your door. Um, Will of Dreams, you said cover 555 cover page. All right, let me check this one out too. Um, let's see, chapter 555. Oh, is this Haridas? Is this okay? Let me check this out. Wait, is that 555? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. So we got okay. I'm actually gonna hold on. Let me pull this. Can I bring it? Is that gonna work? No, it's not gonna work. You guys should see this one too. I think this is really interesting just because like bubbles are really important. Uh, Oh. Oh, there we go. I found a colored one. It's in Spanish, but that's okay. Okay, drag it over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, I brought it up. Okay, very brief, just because, like I said, the One Piece gods do not like me doing this. So you can see in the bubble up here. Maybe I can even, you know what? Maybe to even give myself a better chance of not getting in trouble here, I can just crop some of this out. There you go. So I think what you're trying to have me hone in on here is this bubble, right? The little flame in the bubble. That's actually a crazy find. I'm not gonna lie. You guys see that? That's actually crazy. Hold on.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, I don't even know what to really like take away from this. Like that's I mean, I'm just trying to like think about. So you got to so it's kind of like a hot air balloon, right? Because like that's what it's meant to mimic here, I believe, is a hot air balloon because like you would usually have the fire putting hot air which will lift it up, right? Like lift the balloon up. So I think that's generally what he's doing. But the fact that he's like in Weatheria and like worked with Nami and taught her weather stuff and Vegapunk controlled the weather or like learned to. That's incredible. I'm gonna take it off the screen just because I don't want the One Piece gods to yell at me. But that's wild, man. That's wild. I don't even know if I've ever saw that. Mobius Chungus. That's where Vegapunk got his bubble technology. Amazing, amazing point. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I mean he's used bubbles a lot. He's used sky clouds a lot. Weatheria combines both of those. He controls the weather. We should really be looking at Haradas a lot more for Vegapunk parallels. I'll say this much. I feel like at this point, I would be stunned if whatever Uranus is, it doesn't control the weather. I know that's like might seem kind of random building off that point, but just like Vegapunk controls the weather, sky stuff, bubbles. That guy controls the weather, sky stuff, bubbles. We got all this, like controlling the weather. Like Atlas even said, if they had more resources, they could control weather around the whole planet. I'm at this point, I'm just like sold. Uranus has to control the weather. If it doesn't, I don't even know. I mean, who knows? There's no way. I don't even know what else it would do. Bean Boy said, wait, Pluton the mole crab, those little buggers that run and dig into the sand like water when you walk near them on the beach. So it's funny you brought that up, Bean Boy, because in Gadatsu's cover story, after the mole or the boss of the earth made that hole that went to Alabasta, a crab is what transported them through the holes that were made in the earth, right? So like the mole made the initial tunnel, and then a crab is who took people through the tunnel afterward. So I could see a world where like there is a mole and a crab in like Pluton. I think is still going to be a mole because it's what makes the tunnels. It's what does the initial digging. It's what because like the crab, you kind of need the tunnel already. At least the crab I'm talking about in One Piece that we've seen go through a tunnel. He needed the tunnel already made for him. So I could see a world where like Pluton makes the tunnels, and then maybe like every tunnel is like equipped with a crab to take you through like back and forth. Maybe we'll find out there's already tunnels in the One Piece world, and like a race of crabs live in those tunnels that all carry people around or whatever, right? It could kind of be like the Sea Kings, like what if the like tying it to Poseidon, Poseidon has three parts. You have the controller, you have like the commander, I guess, you have the Sea Kings, and you have the Noah. So if you take that over to Pluton, what if Pluton has like a commander who can, control Pluton and order them to do things? Pluton is the equivalent of the Noah because it is the ship which can make the initial, route through the ground or whatever. And it kind of flips to Poseidon because like for Poseidon, the Sea Kings were like the main force, and the Noah was just a ship it pulled. But maybe for Pluton, it's flipped, where the Sea Kings are actually like a bunch of crabs that go through the tunnels, but the main ship that builds the tunnels is the real Pluton that is the mole thing, right? If that makes any sense. I like that. Because like if you're going to build the tunnels, like Pluton can't carry everyone through the tunnels. Like Pluton's just one being, but if it makes the tunnels and then someone takes you through, then you're cooking at that point. So I like that. I like that. Crab people. Well, DJ, I saw you said that you're from Brazil and don't understand. I'm sorry about that, but you don't have to keep saying Brazil because I can't speak Portuguese, so I'm not able to flip the script that quickly for you. I apologize. Oh yeah, Bean Boy, the express lobster from Skypiea. Another good point. Oh, dude. Yep. Pluton's gonna make the tunnels, and then you're gonna have a crab or lobster that takes you through the tunnels. That's 100% happening. That's happening. That's 100% happening. Wow. You guys cooked today for real. I gotta say. I think I reached the end of the super chats. I think I got them all. You guys seriously cooked hard today. Just like this is definitely this was an amazing chapter to share with you guys for real. Every chapter is at this point. Oda's just on a different level. This is like this Mother Flame panel, bro. The shading on it and everything, like. I forget who I was talking to somebody about this recently. Maybe it was Dilcor or somebody. But Oda used to have a lot of empty background panels where like there was just nothing, and it made you really feel the scene in front of you. Like Skypiea had a lot of those, and it was really good. But Oda's like really been filling the backgrounds a lot lately in Egghead, and like sometimes maybe it feels a little cluttered. But when you get panels like this Mother Flame one, bro, I mean. I know the editors probably did, the editors probably did a lot to help with this. Like he probably maybe did like the main part, and they added all the details, like with the shading and all that. But I mean, it doesn't even matter. Like that's ridiculous. I'm so happy we saw the power source though. I've been waiting for this, and so I want to go back real quick because I know a lot of people think that the Mother Flame just powers the weapon that Emu uses, which I get that sentiment, and I get that a lot of people have done videos and acted like that's 100% true, but that the dialogue does not imply that. The dialogue, especially in the official, does not imply that. The dialogue says that the Mother Flame is the weapon, right? It says use Vegapunk's creation, use the Mother Flame. Like it's very clearly like, this is this. Like Vegapunk's creation is the Mother Flame. It is the weapon. Like they're all the same thing in that sentence. And so now I'm very curious how Oda is weaving this together with like, because like by the Mother Flame being the power source, then it's like, okay, so the weapon is the same thing, kind of. It's like, I almost think what it basically is like they took some of the Mother Flame's power and just unleashed it somewhere, right? Like they made like a battery with the Mother Flame's power and sent it over and just blew it up, right? That's like the idea that I'm getting. Because like I said, they said the weapon is the Mother Flame, right? It wasn't like a let's use that one weapon. Let's see if the Mother Flame can power it. Like that's not not what is said or, in my opinion, implied at all. And so that I'm very curious what Oda's plotting here. YC said Mother Flame is a mockery of the power source. It's probably not perfect yet. Yeah, that I agree with that. The Mother Flame is Vegapunk's attempt at making the power source that runs the robot, for sure. Like, that's 100%. I guess I'm just trying to figure out what the connection is between like this thing getting used on Lelucia, basically, because York said she sent it, right? So when she says I sent it, it's like, okay, so there was a weapon at Egghead that existed that left Egghead and went to the government's possession because of York. But that wasn't the Mother Flame, right? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, it's a very weird situation. It's the Mother Frame. That's funny. It was for a couple weeks. It was the Mother Frame. 3 days it can be both a weapon and a power source, and it can be, and I think that's it. I'm just trying to figure out the dialogue where, like they said the weapon used at Lelucia was the Mother Flame, and so now we know the Mother Flame is the power source. So then the question becomes, well, what was floating above Lelucia? Like, it's, it isn't the Mother Flame because the Mother Flame is here, so it would imply that they either made a second Mother Flame and sent it over, which I feel like what's happening is he's making bombs or like weather eggs, equivalent, like just a giant lightning strike, like a weather egg equivalent or something with the Mother Flame, and that's what they sent over. And maybe they call it the Mother Flame just because it still is like, it's like the offspring of the Mother Flame because it's like a bomb from it. You know what I mean? J Doe, you said, why did it take so long to release this manga? Now there's a break next week. It's ridiculous. Well, last week was Golden Week, and so this is an Oda break. So last week was just everyone because we have it every year. But Oda has been taking a lot of breaks for sure. Mobius Chungus said Big Mom created a flame named Prometheus. Could she have known about the Mother Flame's existence? I doubt it, but it's definitely a parallel from Oda. No doubt. It's a fire with soul in it. And that's guys, that's got to be what this is, right? Like this little fireball has to be, I'm just going to say it's Vegapunk's soul probably. It's probably like he probably took like his will, or like when I say soul, like it's hard to describe what that is in One Piece because, like, you have the Big Mom soul where she can take, like, your lifespan soul, or you can have the 21 grams of soul. There's, like, different varieties of it. You know what I mean? And I feel like Vegapunk took part of that and made an eternal flame from it kind of thing. But maybe it's not truly eternal. Maybe it's only around, like, maybe it will run out. I don't know how it would work, but maybe that's it. But this is also like a fusion reactor, right? Like we know that from chapter 1089. So that also shows there might be some more like hardline science to it. Vegapunk took out his... hold on, it's blocked off for me. I want to see what you're saying, Bean Boy. You're probably cooking, but it's blocked off just on my screen alone because the heart symbol is there. Well, probably your guys' too, but like... In the next chat, I'll be able to read it. But Vegapunk took out his heart something, so his brain never dies. Maybe just heart is what it says. Yeah, I like that would actually make a lot of sense, Bean Boy. Like he separated his brain and his heart, or his will, or his soul. So that way, whenever his body dies, he's like, well, look, I got the two most important things, bro. Like I'm good. I got my will surviving, and I got my brain still operating. Like what else? That's all I was using. Like my body was just a mortal coil for me to operate in. But yeah, and so Bean Boy, like you said, powering Uranus was just a side effect. I know a lot of people think like the weapon that was used on Lelucia is Uranus, and this just powered it. They said directly the weapon is the Mother Flame. That's why I'm like so confused on this, because it's like they took this thing and put it above Lelucia, released the power, and then took it back. That's like how it feels. That's definitely not it, because if it left the island at all, Vegapunk would have noticed, blah blah blah. So I think York just had to like I said, like made a battery of the Mother Flame's power and just unleashed it. It's got to be something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna think about this more because this is like, that's not that like it really contradicts my video, but talking about this is a big part of the video. So I feel like I got to edit the dialogue a little bit because this makes it really confusing. I kind of wish I would just release my video now ahead of time, but because this makes it just a little bit confusing to like discuss. Because I talk a lot more about like an ancient version of this. Like I don't want to spoil it too much, but that, you know, the ancient power source, I talk about what that was like and where that was used and stuff like that. So yeah, you'll see that in the video. But now I got to think about how to talk about this a little bit differently. But yeah. AWOL, you said, yeah, if the Mother Flame uses the soul, then York could have used part of her soul to power the weapon. Well, I don't think York would even need to do that because it seems like it like this emits power constantly. Like this thing powers Egghead. You know what I mean? Every bit of like electronics that Vegapunk has is powered by this thing right here. And so it's just like so like when she's sending it. So yeah, I mean, I guess what you're saying, like maybe she could make like a baby Mother Flame with a little bit of her soul, or maybe she took, wait, no. Oh, no. Nope. Guys, no. This is why she was capturing the Cypher Pole agents. She needed to use other soul power to make her own version or whatever to send the government. That's why she was keeping all the Cypher Pole agents hidden and like she was kidnapping them. She was taking a little bit of their souls while they were captured in that thing so that she could use it. It's like she didn't kill anyone. Maybe she took like a day's lifespan equivalent from each of them and made a weapon out of it. Oh, bro, that's it. That's it. And then so she made her own baby version of the Mother Flame and sent it over. And so it still is the Mother Flame because it's like using Vegapunk's design to make a new one, and they just blew it up over Lelucia. And now that it worked, she's like, okay, let's keep making Mother Flames. Let's make more. That's it. Yeah, that's 100% it. Majin Belmont, you said it's just my interpretation. That's not actually. It says in the official translation for this chapter that I'm talking about. Emu says, "I wish to use Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Flame. Well, Mother Frame, because they called it Frame back then. I wish to use Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Frame. It's saying I'm trying to use what Vegapunk made right now on the Lucia. You know what I mean? Like the mother, like they're using Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Flame, at Lelucia right there. Like I don't think there's really any other way to that's the official though. Like maybe other ones break it down, but the official's pretty straightforward. That the thing they use was the Mother Flame, and that's Vegapunk's creation, which means there's just, you know what I mean? There's there's not a whole lot of room there, I feel like, to break it down any further. So yeah, I think York just took part of the Cypher Pole agent's soul or whatever, made another one of these and sent it. And that's why she said directly, I sent it over. Like, you know, she's responsible for she's responsible for whatever that weapon was being in the government's hands, basically. And maybe whenever she said she sent it, I almost wonder if she's the one who sent it to Lelucia. Oh, D, you said I'm sorry, or you're sad I skipped the super chat. I didn't get back to. I wasn't looking at the super chats yet. I was going to do them before I left, but since you said something, not sure what the currency is, but thank you for the 50, whatever those are. I appreciate you. Ox Bell was used to warn everyone from the flood. Oh yeah, the Ox Bell. That's interesting. Because that was only mentioned like right after Marineford, right? And that's like the second bell we've seen, because there's also a bell in Skypiea too. And I wonder just what I wonder where that's going. Oh, pesos. Oh, cool. D, thank you. I should remember that. It is a P, isn't it? It's a P with a line through it. I gotta remember that. because every currency is like a letter with a line through it, or a lot of them are, or like a letter or a symbol with a line or two through it. So I just got to remember that. Pesos. Brandon King, you said, what if the mother flame is the anti-Uranus like there is an anti-Pluton? I don't want to spoil my next video, but you're very close. You're not there, but you're extremely, extremely close. Like, I'll probably just DM you some info after this because you're so close. The first ship is the Ox Lloyd. Ooh, wait, are you saying the first ship? Are you saying, wait, how much? What do we know about the Ox Lloyd? Hold on. Like, what has Oda said about this in? Oh, well, so the Ox Bell. Okay, yeah, it's because Ox Lloyd. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, so it was originally on the ancient warship Ox Lloyd's. And so, do we not have the Ox Lloyd anymore? Like, have we never seen the Ox Lloyd? We just know it exists because the bell used to be on it. If so, where is the Ox Lloyd now? Kuya, you said I look forward to that new video. I'm glad. I got a little bit to change because nothing. I don't think anything I really said is necessarily wrong, but just because of this chapter, I know people are gonna say like, "Oh, well, this just happened in this chapter," and it's like, okay, well, now I just need to reword it just so it doesn't take away from the stuff I'm right on. You know what I'm saying? AWOL, he said Ox Lloyd is not Noah. I don't think so. I mean, if it was, I don't know why the government would have it. I feel like the Ox Lloyd is going to be the 20 Kings ship. You know what I mean? Like their main warship. Maybe like the 20 Kings back in the day took their warship. Wait, no. Okay, that's it. No, hold on. So that bell exists to like signify war, right? Or if it's rung 16 times, it means like you're starting a war, right? Or something like that. Yeah, because like it's rung, so it's rung 8 times to give thanks for the old year and 8 times to welcome the new year. If it's rung twice, it signifies some sort of disaster or distress. And so I'm betting that the Ox Lloyd was the 20 King ship that they took around to like each island or whatever back in the day to start their war, whatever they were doing, right? And the Ox Bell was probably rung as they got to each island, like we're starting a war. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably rung it themselves to let the island know, like we're here to mess you up, kind of deal, or to like even said to signal to their troops, like it's time to start fighting, like everyone get in positions and whatever. And then that's what the Ox Lloyd is. That yeah, because that and then Luffy rung it in reverse to like signify war on the Marines or the world government or whatever. So it's like JOYBOY doing the same with their bell. Actually, I like that a lot. And then that might tie to the because like for the Skypiea bell, that one, like that one's been around for 800 plus years. Like it's been around since the City of Gold was there and the poneglyph was there and all that, which was like 900 plus years ago that they put that there. Or the poneglyphs may have gotten there during the Void Century. I'm not really sure. Well, I think that's what they imply because they said they were made during it, I think. Hmm. Majin Belmont. I mean, it. I'm just reading the thing. I mean, it says, "I wish to use Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Flame." I think anything beyond thinking that the weapon is the Mother Flame and it is Vegapunk's creation is creating like a headcanon or a theory. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're just trying to read it objectively as is, then I think it's saying the Mother Flame is the weapon and the creation all at the same time. So I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I think that's just how it's reading. I don't think there's a lot of other for the official. I don't think there's a lot of other interpretation. Matt Cipher, maybe Giants don't know what rubber is. Nika equal Gomu. Well, there's a good tie in there because Skypeans didn't know, right? Like they traded, I forget what they trade. Was it gold or no dials? They traded dials for Usopp's rubber bands, right? And they were just rubber bands. They weren't even anything crazy. And then they actually made a thing called like Usopp's Rubber Band Land or whatever, right? Or was it just Usopp or was it Uso something? Uso, maybe it was Uso Land. I don't know. Whatever it was, Uso, Usopp, whatever. And they had a rubber band land there. And so, and because they didn't know about it, and the Adam Tree may be the entrance to the summit of High West, which ties to Skypiea, right? Might be. It at least is going to be a really tall tree and tie to Sky something or other, right? In that regard. So actually, I like that a lot. Now the Giants, though, you know, they've been on the Blue Sea where rubber is kind of common, and also they know Shanks, and I'm sure Shanks would have mentioned it at some point. So I bet you they do know what rubber is, but maybe maybe they aren't maybe they know what it is, but they also know it's like rare and special. You know what I mean? Not even just because of the Nika stuff, but like between them knowing about Sun God Nika and them knowing that rubber is really important, then there could be like a middle ground there where they're kind of like the liaison between the two groups, where it's like, because like the Straw Hats and most people on the Blue Sea don't think rubber's that special. It's very common to them. People in Skypiea think it's like insanely special, like it's really new and they never saw it before. I mean, it beat an L, right? So they like it for that reason alone. And so I think the Giants might be melding the two, where they're like, all right, it's more special than the Blue Sea people think, but not as special as the White Sea people think. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we're in the middle. Like we're, you know, it is important, but not that important kind of thing. Like rubber's just a conduit for whatever. I like that a lot. D, Oda giving us headaches again by letting us theorize. It's so true. Like, even though we're on a break, which is unfortunate because, you know, I mean, it's just another break. That's not a lot of fun to do, you know, have breaks all the time. Um, but at least he gives us a lot to think about during the break. You know what I mean? Like every time. Wow, it's 5:20. Oh, wow. I mean, that's fine. I don't have anywhere to be, but I did not know it was that late. Oh my God. We are going to end this sometime soon. I think Kev might be ending his stream already, so my bad. I wanted to end it so you guys could go watch him, but I feel like he's probably getting close to done now. I'm actually about to pull this up real quick. Looks like he's still. Oh yeah, he's still reading it. Okay, yeah, cool. We're going to end in like 10 minutes then. I'll send you guys over there. Terrible TJ with the $5, the goat. Anybody asking how a flame is burning even while submerged in a liquid? LOL. Could Oda be making a reference to acetylene welding torches? I don't know if I said that right, but well, I think the tie-in there with the flame in the water. I don't know if you were here earlier, Terrible TJ, but we talked about Prometheus, because in the One Piece anime, not in the manga though, but in the anime, Prometheus went into the water and didn't extinguish and got Big Mom out of it. And so I always took that as just some anime BS, you know, just whatever. Oda doesn't care. It's an anime. Prometheus is a soul fire. It's different. Not a big deal. But maybe now that we see this one, it's actually a sign that like, no, like that's what a never-ending flame does. Like even in the water, that flame still runs. You know, like a never-ending flame wouldn't get extinguished. You know, like that's just not how it would have to remove the first word of that sentence. You know, it's not a never-ending. Well, never hyphen ending. I don't know if that's two words or a compound word or whatever, but so I think I think that the reason it's in the water is to be a sign of that. Like it truly is never ending. And I also mentioned earlier that it could be a tie to the devil fruits, because like even if you have a never ending flame, I bet the flame is a little bit weaker or a little bit tarnished. I don't know, when it's in the water. Like it's probably not as strong as being out in the open, you know, in the open air. Especially like burning an important fuel, like then it would get really big. So like the water kind of minimizes it. And that could be what happens with devil fruits. What if every devil fruit has a fire like that in it that gives you the power of that fruit? And whenever you get in the water, it kind of extinguishes that, you know, because like it's limiting it overall. I think that makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. Whoa, jeez. Polipede works. Appreciate you for sliding in, man. Said like do you stream. Thank you, bro. I'm gonna make you a mod real quick. I should have done that already. Everyone go check out Polipede, right? Polipede. Go check him out. I think you make don't you make shorts every single day, don't you? I know you said that before, but I don't want to say it for you if you don't do that anymore and give you that kind of pressure. But definitely go check out Paula Pete if you haven't already. Makes great content. Great theories over there for sure. I just modded him up. I think I. Oh yeah, cool. I gave you the right moderator. I don't know if they switched it up, but there's two kinds of moderators I can upgrade people to, and one has like a lot more capabilities. And like, no offense, I don't want to give that to a lot of people because they can like change it away from like subscriber only mode and do all sorts of stuff that I don't want anyone to do. And I think I made some people managing ones on accident. You're supposed to be standard. Managing is the upper level one. Standard is like the one most of you guys are. So I think I did that right. I think a couple of you are managing moderators though. But yeah, and some of you probably should be. Whatever. I'll worry about that later. I doubt many of you are worried about that. Mobius, you said people's wills are fire itself. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's why Kuma, when he's like trying to save his daughter, you know, it's like his will is like that undying flame, or like, well, I don't want to spoil the video too much, but guys should go watch Parvision's video too, where at some point he talks about, you know, the power of love is also really important. We've seen this. I mean, Kuma and Bonnie is an example of that. Sanji has mentioned love, like the power of love, or like it breaking physics and all that multiple times. And so I think like that, like, so when we talk about will or love or whatever, I think like it's that it's like who you are at like the root, you know, that like who you are at the very base level of yourself. Like if you only had like a one track mind and could only go do one thing, what is the thing you're doing? Like that's what your like true will is. And it's for a lot of people, it is based off love because like they love certain people so much that all they want to do is go help them and make sure they're okay. Some people's wills might be based around adventuring because like Luffy has a love for adventuring and freedom. So that's a different kind of love and a different kind of will, but the same thing. And so for all these different people, it's like that base level of who you are carries on no matter what, because that is what your will is, the love, whatever it is. And so then tying back to like Luffy and JOYBOY being kind of, you know, two sides of the same, I don't want to say two sides, they're on the same side of the coin, but they're not the same person. It's not the same exact coin because they're two different people, but you know what I mean? Like they're the same person. It's probably because that very base root level of what they cared about is the same. That's what makes him JOYBOY, right? Like his love for freedom or adventure or whatever is what that is the thing that makes him the same as JOYBOY. That's why they say JOYBOY return, because it is the same will, right? So yeah, I think Oda's got some deep stuff coming. That's all I'm gonna say. Some deep stuff. Let's see. Paul Lapidi said, do you think we could run you on the Rose Skull podcast for chapter 1117? I would give you a tentative yes. I'm definitely down to join, but it's just because we have 1116 next, and then we don't know if there's a break after, and that might mess up my plans, like with what I'm doing, basically. So tentatively yes. Let's DM about it, but I'm definitely down as long as we can get the time to work. I guess that's all I'm saying. I just don't know the schedule yet, because I might. If we have a break, I might go out of town or something, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Just message me. If you haven't, I think you've messaged me before. If not, join my Discord and tag me and I'll add you and we'll DM or whatever. Matt Cypher, you said, will you be streaming? I'd recommend Helldivers or Baldur's Gate. I still need to finish Baldur's Gate. I am going to be definitely streaming soon. I actually just went through a couple days of trying to recover my RuneScape account, which set me back some time. I did get it back. It didn't get hacked. I'm all good. I just forgot the password, and it took me forever to get back into the account. But now that I did, I can get back to my regular, scheduled video game schedule, which I should put Baldur's Gate on there because I want to finish it. So yeah, I will be streaming games soon for sure. I know I'm a broken record on that. Well, now I have to finish this video, but I really do want to start gaming more. I want to play the finals big time. I've been really feeling that lately, so I want to play that. But yeah, Paula P, just go ahead and DM me, and we'll figure it out for sure. Michaela Wilkinson, love makes the soul burn brighter. Of your soul is your will, then your will is stronger. Or if your soul is your will, then your will is stronger. And if your will is the fire, then you will burn the brightest. 100%. Like whenever, with Kuma, I can imagine that what his soul, what his will and soul was like before Bonnie was definitely strong. I mean, we actually have evidence of that from God Valley. We know he had a very strong willed. He talked back to Saturn to his face and stuff like that, even when he was a kid. But when he had Bonnie, I don't think he would disagree that his soul started burning 10 times hotter as it did before. You know what I mean? Like his desire to do a certain thing, protect Bonnie, probably trumped every single will he's ever had in his life. You know what I mean? Like his soul probably burnt to a totally different degree. And I bet you that's going to be a lesson we're going to learn is like, it's probably tied to why like the Gorosei try wiping everybody out and stuff is like, as people get more experience, learn more about things, they get more motivated. Their will becomes even stronger towards certain things because they learn about how important that will is. And like, we're going to learn a lot about like this fire and like, I bet you like that the eternal flame, if that really is tied to the soul, I bet we're going to see that like certain people's souls probably burnt to like an insane degree. Like they all weren't the same. They're probably all really, really powerful, but I'm betting that some are like Luffy's will is probably just so strong and crazy that fire just burns like, you know, hotter than anyone's. And I almost wonder if that like the level of which your fire burns as your soul or whatever, that eternal flame in yourself that keeps you going, I wonder if that ties to Conqueror's Haki. Like maybe your soul has to burn to a certain level to use Conqueror's Haki. You need enough power to do it, right? Because if we're going to compare the soul and the flame and whatever to a power source, then you could compare the same with Haki, where it's like maybe whenever your soul burns that hot, your Haki gets stronger. Conquerors in particular, because that's like the top one. You know what I mean? And that, so I think that could make a lot of sense because it's like the stronger your will is, it's like that's, you know, you need to burn a certain temperature in order to have Conquerors kind of thing. Which, if that's true, Sanji should get Conquerors, right? Like you know, I don't want to get in the debate about you know, because a lot of people don't want Sanji to get Conquerors and say like, you know, he doesn't need it. He has a lot of other stuff, whatever. But if it becomes true that your Conqueror's Haki is tied to like the strength of your will or your passion or your love or whatever, then Sanji needs it. Like, it might even make sense that Sanji unlocking it is where we learn how Haki ties to like your will or your emotion. I think that might even be the perfect time. That might be why Oda's saving it, honestly. Saitoris, you said the mother flame is Joy Boy's soul. Appreciate you sliding in, man. I think, well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but you know, a weapon like the Mother Flame probably existed in the past. Excuse me. Yeah, something like the Mother Flame existed a long time ago because, excuse me again, guys. Because we know that Leloucia is not the only hole in the ocean. We have one at Enies Lobby, which, you know, I mean, that's the arc where we learned about building ships, and that was Frankie's introductory arc, and him and Vegapunk connect in a lot of ways. So I don't want to say any more than that because that's what a lot of the video's about that's coming out. We'll just say Saturday at this point because I'm going to need some time to work on this. Also, the Cavs play tonight, and that's going to hog up 3 hours of my night at least. If Jared Allen isn't playing, we're probably taking another L, unfortunately, because without him and Dean Wade, we don't have a lot of chance, I feel like. But hopefully they're back because both of them could be back any game now. So, Cole Scott, you said, "Oh damn, missed the full live again. Gonna watch from the beginning in a little bit." Love you, Dak. Cole, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for sliding in. Sorry you missed it, but it was a really good stream. Not just saying that because that's like my stream or anything, but like there were so many good ideas. I mean, this chapter was fire for one thing, but the chat had a million good ideas. So I had to break out the let him cook a couple times.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
So with that being said, guys, I think we're going to end the stream now. I think we're near the end. It's 5:32. That's crazy. 2 hours went by that fast. Wow. All right, guys. Well, last couple things before I go. Just whenever I end this, it's still probably going to send you over to Kev's stream, which I think he's still going, but he probably already read it at this point. So just FYI. I also want to say TCG giveaway. next weekend. Don't know what day, but keep an eye out on the community post. I'll announce it a couple days before. It's for members only. People have signed up already. Whatever. But there will be another one next month. Oh, you know what? You know what I should do? I should also do this. I forgot about this. Hold on. Don't leave yet, guys. Don't leave, because I forgot to gift 5 memberships at the start of the stream. So 5 more members. Welcome to the Afro Gang. Don't thank me. Thank YouTube. They give us 10 a month. Will of Dreams, Atlas, Cole Scott, we were just talking about you, N. Holloway, Mr. Bubbles, everyone, welcome to the Afro Gang. Cole, you got here just in time, honestly. You got here at the perfect time to get yourself a membership. Look at that, that's crazy. And I'll have 5 more to give away next stream. Let's see, so we do have a chapter this month, right, because it goes on a monthly schedule. Cool. So I'll have 5 more to give away on the next chapter reaction, so that's cool. So welcome to the Afro Gang, everybody. Trying to think of the announcement. So then, yeah, video in a couple days, and I will have a redacted video out also. When that video drops, I should talk to him first, but I should be doing a video with Parvision. I got to see if he has the time. He agreed to it already, but we were waiting for the chapter to drop, so I just got to make sure he's free. But it should be Parvision and I pretty much having a chapter review, or sort of like a situational review. I don't know what to really call it, because like we're going to talk about more than just 1114, but we're going to talk about everything going on, the flood, Void Century, all the flame stuff. We're going to be a good video between Par and I. It's going to be really good, so make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you guys so much. You guys are always incredibly supportive, but especially today. So thank you all. Join the Discord if you haven't. Continue the discussion over there, because I already see I got 8 messages, 5 of which are from the Discord. Okay, well, Kev DOG just messaged me that he's done. He's like, he just messaged me, you want to talk about the chapter right now? So, and I do. So, but I see I got a lot of messages already in the Discord. So go join